President Bola Tinubu has approved the takeoff of the first phase of the consumer credit scheme.
So when Mr. President set up CREDICORP, this was about a year ago, he set us up for 3 goals. One is to improve the quality of life of Nigerians now by enabling them access goods and services that they need today rather than saving over years and even decades sometimes to get things like a home or a vehicle or home improvements or electronics or just things that make their lives better.
My name is Elma Ofegobi.
My name is Ibrahim.
I'm a makeup artist. I stay at Masaka, Nasarawa State.
I work with National Open University of Nigeria.
I am Abdullahi Ademobaini. I work with FCTA under Hospital Management Board as a pharmacist.
Inspector Joseph Nda, Nigeria Police Force.
I'm a young Nigerian. I'm a content creator. I'm a salesman also.
Second reason for the setup was to stem corruption. Stemming corruption meaning that when people have access to credits, then they have less of perverse incentives to amass a lot of money and cash now, when they can just get the goods and services that they need, like a car or solar panel or home, and then pay over time, over years with their income.
I do over here in Abuja.
My name is Vasike. I'm a business person.
Esther Moses Akpabio. I'm a civil servant.
I'm Aneke Chukwemeka Erickson, Transport and Logistics.
I work in Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment.
I'm Inspector Adamu Amadu, serving in FCT Command.
I'm using a car presently that I can actually and honestly not afford paying as a whole.
I feel so excited to have the solar bulb and fan because it has really been helpful to me and my business.
Before I got access to the money, and it was like things are really going tough.
I have actually tried getting a loan from a commercial bank in Nigeria, which I eventually didn't get.
One of my colleagues introduced CREDICORP to me, and he was saying it would be easy for me to get loan from them.
My bank told me there is a loan that is here now under federal government. It's a CREDICORP.
But with the help of this organization, I've been able to be put on a stipend, or it has been spread. The payment plan has been spread to my own comfort.
And then the third reason was to catalyze industry, which is to grow local manufacturing by channeling more and more consumers to purchase goods that are made locally. Now, since that time, about a year ago, when we were set up, brand new agency of government, of course, while building the institution, setting up our frameworks, getting our policies, even getting our funding, which came in 6 months ago. But while we did that, we have also quickly executed very fast around signing on our financial institution partners,
which is over 23 of them.
And then signing on local manufacturers, which is about 150. And today, we have executed and gotten consumer credits for those goods that I mentioned earlier
into the hands of over 90,000 beneficiaries.
No collateral, no middleman. There's no go and bring your certificate of your house.
We were given a DTI and KYC form to fill. In less than a few minutes, I got a message that I've been qualified to get the loan I requested for. And in the next minute, I got my loan alert from my bank.
And I got my money easily without no stress. I can't believe it.
The loan helped me a lot of things, especially my wife. I established some business for her.
I used the loan to settle all my children's outstanding bills in the school.
I even use it to finish some of my building that I'm building in the village.
I used the money in settling the remaining balance of the land I bought.
It really helped me a long way. It eased my stress.
And this is the first phase of the consumer credit scheme, which we have executed over the past 6 months, and making sure that more everyday Nigerians have vehicles, solar panels, laptops, things that improve their lives, and general credits for access to medical and health and things of that nature. Most Nigerians, when they access credit backed by CREDICORP, their response is that this is the best or the cheapest credits that is out there in the market to enable them access these goods and services that better their lives. So the power of consumer credits to transform lives and transform communities is just something that is difficult to overestimate. In fact, by the year 2030, that 50% of the working population of Nigeria will have access to consumer credit that enables them to have a better life now.
To go a long way, easing my movement around town and improving my business very well.
Well, I think it's actually a very lovely and welcome initiative. I mean, having to get a loan as low as 2% to own your own car is a good thing that the government has put in place for everyone.
To do that, it requires more than just the government and its initiative. It requires the private sector and most importantly, the financial system to participate in that process. So our work, I've been speaking a lot about our work on capital, which is enabling more people access credit now. But our work also includes infrastructure, which I just described, which is enabling cleaning up credit reporting regime, working very closely with the CBN. So one of our mandates is to work closely with the CBN to sanitize the credit reporting regime of the country for consumer credit in particular. And then the last part is cultural reorientation. That part means that we are training the public on better credit practices and letting the public understand that consumer credit is not a bad thing. Borrowing money is not a bad thing. That if you borrow money, it is to enhance your life. That once you have an income, you have a vocation, and you're earning, you don't have to save over 10 years just to buy that vehicle or that keke or whatnot. You can actually get that house now and pay for it over time, or get that vehicle now and pay for it over time. And that the idea that consumer credit is a bad lot in life, that it's a sign of you being desperate or falling into misfortune, is not something that is true. And that most economies thrive on a productive and effective credit system. And this has been the vision of President Tinubu, that more and more Nigerians have access to a better quality of life.
It was easy and affordable.
And I did not know anybody. I applied online.
It did not take me like 10 hours when the loan was disbursed into my account.
We were told that the consumer credit, which is an initiative of the federal government of Nigeria, that the federal government has directed them to give this loan out at a very reduced interest rate.
Thank you, CREDICORP, for making the process so easy for ordinary Nigerians like us. Without you, what would we do? How are we mobile? Thank you so much.
I want to use this medium to thank the president for making things easier for the citizens to enjoy. Thank you.
I think one thing we cannot deny about President Tinubu is that he's a very bold president. Some of the reforms that have been taken early on in the presidency are things that very many previous presidents have been afraid of doing, but are necessary or have been necessary to change the course of the country's economy. So those things take time to bake in, and you can see that even over and above that, he's now layered on things that provide an element of succor to the public and are also transformative to the economy, one of which is CREDICORP. Because now they're saying, no, you don't have to invest or have all the cash that you need to have a decent life, as long as you have an income that is happening.
Thank you to CREDICORP for creating this opportunity and also making life easier for people.
I thank President Bola Tinubu.
I want to use this opportunity to thank our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this initiative, and I pray we should do more.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this initiative.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And I also want to appreciate CREDICORP facility for making this an opportunity of a lifetime.
Thank you to CREDICORP. Thank you so much.
Thank you for CREDICORP for giving us this keke. Thank you. Now my life will be better. I'll feed my family now.
In 2 years, we have seen a very positive trajectory. Obviously, we had moments where we had to go through rough times due to some of the bold and necessary decisions that have been made. What our job is as members of the government and people who hold the public trust is to just ruthlessly continue to execute against the reforms, against initiatives, and communicate to Nigerians what it is that we're doing, and also take feedback. I mean, we can see that some of those choices, the choices that have been made by the president, are beginning to yield fruit, and I'm excited about what the next 2 years will hold for the country.